Hey guys, Jonathan here, and in today's video we're going to take a look at every Venomized minifigure that LEGO has ever made. Now, what qualifies as Venomized? In my book, it's somebody that has been altered or taken over by the Venom symbiote, so Venom himself would not count. I think that should be a separate video, but anybody that has integrated with the symbiote should. I also don't think that counts Carnage or Anti-Venom, although, to be honest with you, I do have Anti-Venom right here off camera, and I'm debating if he should be included or not. I think he'll go in the Venom showcase, but anyways, let's take a historical look at every Venomized superhero and supervillain ever. So it all kicked off at San Diego Comic-Con in 2012, where we got this limited edition Symbiote Spider-Man, which as of the recording of this video, still is the only black suit Spider-Man we have ever gotten. Considering how popular this suit is, that is still unbelievable to me, but it is what it is. Now, the torso itself is the same one that was used on Venom the following year in 2013, so the only exclusive thing here is the head itself, which just has those two white eyes on it, and of course, the backer card that it came on, and there were only 1,000 of them made, so these are super rare, and I'm very grateful to have one in my collection. Believe it or not, this figure sells for $1,400 to $1,800 in today's market, which is so crazy, and I'm glad I got mine a long time ago before it got that expensive. Alright, then in 2020, believe it or not, we got our first actual Venomized characters, which were Iron Man. We got two different versions. One came in an accessory pack, and the other actually came in a set. So the torsos are exactly the same, and honestly, even the heads underneath are exactly the same. It's just that standard Tony Stark head we always get. The only difference is the helmet, and of course, this one being the one that came in the actual set is slightly less rare than this one, but both of them have become pretty desirable over the last 5 or 6 years or so, and yeah, it's just really cool to see these. It did kick off the trend, but it would actually be a while before we saw this style of venomization come back, so let's keep working our way forward and you'll see what I mean. The next year in 2021, we got Rind. Now, I included him here because he is technically not Venom, but he's also not Spider-Ham. A lot of people assume that Rind is the, Venomized version of Spider-Ham, but he's actually the Venomized version of Pig Eddie Brock. So, he is more Venom than Spider-Man, per se, but also he's not really Venom, unless you, count multiversal Venom. But, I don't know. I would consider him Venomized. But anyways, he uses the same Venom torso we've been getting in the modern era for the last several years, but had a completely unique and exclusive head, with that mold being in black this time, and of course getting those sharp tusks in his mouth, and the white eyes, and even the white spider mask on the nose, which was really interesting and made for a great minifigure. But yeah, would you consider him Venomized or Venom himself? I'm curious. Let me know in the comments. 2023 brought us more truly Venomized characters, and by that I mean a minifigure that is just a figure on its own that is in the process of becoming a Venom symbiote. This one, of course, is the Green Goblin, and you can see that the design is actually reused or borrowed from the Green Goblin minifigure, where the belt is the same, and when we flip it around, you can see, the satchel is there. So it is kind of cool that it's just a Venomized version of a standard traditional minifigure, but it is kind of its own thing. Now, yes, there was the Venomverse in Marvel Comics, but aside from that, there's not really any significant precedent for random characters being taken over by the Venom symbiote, and even when that is the case, they look nothing like these LEGO designs. So, for all intents and purposes, these are all original LEGO designs that LEGO randomly came up with, and of course, the Green Goblin also has a reverse side of the head where his face is half Venomized, and he's actually, scared to become a symbiote, character, but it's alright. I don't love these, to be honest with you. I love Symbiote Spider-Man, I love Rind. I like when it's an actual character, but when it's just a half taken over Venom symbiote, it feels kind of phoned in to me, but I get the little kids like these, and that's why LEGO makes them. So just because I don't love them doesn't mean I don't like them, and just because I only like them doesn't mean they're bad. Wow, that was a lot of words, but you guys know what I mean. In 2023, we also got Venomized Doc Ock. Now, low-key, I think that this is legitimately one of my favorite Doc Ock arm builds we ever got. It just feels so easy to build, and it just works so well. The arms are superposable all around, too, so I just really like that design. Anyways, as you can see, he's got the receding hairline hair this time, and the face here is really good if you want to make other characters Venomized, so that's always a good thing. I'm going to go ahead and take the arms off so that you can see that the back of the torso also has a little venomization going on there, and the head is reversible with, you know, Doc Ock's glasses there, and half the face being venomized. So I like this one a little bit more than the Goblin. You know what? Now that I see them side by side, I probably like the Goblin like 5% more, but let me know which of these two you guys like better. In 2026, we got Venomized Wolverine, so LEGO took several years off between doing Venomized characters, but then they just randomly decided to do it again. Well, this figure is cool. Of course, he only has an exclusive head, torso, and this black Wolverine cowl piece, which is very odd. The reason I say it's odd is every theme gets a budget for making new parts every year, so making a black Wolverine cowl like this that hypothetically would never be used on any figure but this kind of seems like a waste of budget if you ask me, especially when there's nothing like Venomized Wolverine going in comics or TV right now. It just feels like a very odd choice, but the head is reversible where you can see Logan's face on one side, and it even has like the gums of Venom's mouth there, which is kind of interesting, and the teeth, and when we close it, of course, the helmet looks really good there, and we could flip it around and see this side of the head has Venom eyes with gritted teeth. So when we put the mask back on, it does look pretty good. The torso is not a Venomized version of any previous Wolverine minifigure, which is kind of interesting. It's just its own like Wolverine suit design underneath there, but this one feels a little basic and phoned into me. I do love getting a new torso, new head, and new cowl though, but like I said, when it comes down to the budgetary choices, there are so many other LEGO Marvel characters I would have rather gotten than this, so I don't really know why this one was necessary. And ironically, I feel all of those things but tenfold for the Venomized Captain America. You know, in all our years, we have never gotten a regular Steve Rogers that has leg printing or even dual molded legs outside of the San Diego Comic-Con one. And now we get one that finally has both, and it's Venomized, and you only get one leg. The leg looks so good, too, with that printing on there. And interestingly enough, this leg actually has some blue printing on it to show that, you know, the Venom symbiote is taking over Steve Rogers. As you can see underneath the helmet here, there's an A there, which looks really good as a part of the symbiote, but there's only one side to the head, interestingly enough. The torso does look really good with the unique Captain America design, and we get a brand new Captain America cowl in black that would look awesome for the US agent if you use the eraser method to take the print off, and we get a brand new Captain America shield with Venomized printing on it. So on this figure, we get a brand new set of legs, a brand new torso, brand new helmet, head, and shield. So every single part on this figure is new and presumably exclusive because it's pretty proprietary. I can't see this appearing on another figure ever, but this isn't based off anything from the comics. Yes, Steve Rogers has been taken over by the Venom symbiote, but the design looks nothing like this, so it's just an original LEGO design. I get the kids like this. I don't think it looks bad. In fact, I think it might be one of the best figures in this entire lineup. But my point is, when we have so many characters we're hoping to get, like Venomized Spider-Man, well, you know, just black suit symbiote Spider-Man, that is, that would literally only take one new head element to make, like, why are we not getting that? And then, like, comic book Ant-Man, you know? I don't want to complain too much, because that's not the point, but I do think it is worth pointing out that it is interesting that a brand new character that has no comic, cartoon, or movie precedent just randomly gets made by LEGO and gets 5 brand new elements. That is pretty wild. Now, as we round things out, there are always comments on videos like this. What about Spider-Woman? She has a symbiote costume. Well, that's only partially true. In the comics, Jessica Drew models her costume off of the black suit Spider-Man, but she's actually not attached to the symbiote whatsoever. So technically she looks like she would be a symbiote, but she's not, so she's not going to be in this list, aside from that little shout out. So with that being said, let's round out this video and call it a day. Alright guys, let me know how many of these you have in your collection and which one is your ultimate favorite. There are so many cool ones here, it's hard to decide, and I can't wait to see who the fan favorites are.